Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the Axiom Pyro. The Pyro is an overstable mid-range. The number's 540 2.5. This is in the Prism Neutron plastic, which is a pretty unique blend from the MVP Axiom family. They don't make a lot of discs in this combination, but it actually has the Neutron base plate and the Proton Prism rim, which is this really cool sparkly rim. I've been throwing this for a couple weeks now just to test it out, see if it's something that I'd like in my own bag. We're gonna be playing just the back nine at Oakland Bottom. Let's go do it. All right guys, we're starting a hole 10. This is a 204-foot par 3 straight ahead. We're gonna hit it with the forehand. There is out of bounds water behind the basket, so I really wanna be able to control the distance on this, which should be pretty good because the Pyro, with that overstability, unlikely to go past the basket, so should be a good fit for this hole. Oh, and you can just see that beef. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the strongest forehand thrower, but I threw that pretty hard, and that did not turn at all. Got a nice little skip, so I'm pin high. I am squared up with this strange wooden pole in front of me. See if I can putt with the Pyro as well. Ooh. All right, hole 11, 265-foot par 3. We do have out of bounds right before the basket. There's a river, runs right in front of there. I don't think I can get it to the basket on the backhand just because of how overstable it is, so I think we're just gonna lay up before the river. Oh, perfect spot. Yeah, that thing is so overstable. Loving that flight. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Disc Golfing and Cable Knit Sweaters. I'm your host, Flying Fajita. I may look like I'm late for choir practice or about to meet maybe a niece or nephew for brunch, but I just love cable knit sweaters. Something about it feels cozy, even when you're disc golfing. Hole 12 is a 365-foot par 3. This is not a Pyro hole. I really need a distance driver like hyzer high over the top of the trees to get there. So we're just gonna play this one for position. Backhand pretty straight, go to the left, hopefully leaves us with a good, easy upshot. That was a good toss. Don't hit that tree. Nice, got to eye it. Leaves us in the wide open for the upshot. So far, what I really like about the Pyro is how flat it is. An extremely just bored flat and pretty low profile disc. Feels really good in my forehand grip and my backhand grip. I just prefer shallower discs typically. And the disc it reminds me of the most is the Discmania MD5. Both can be used in kind of that overstable approach shot that you might typically use like a zone or a harp or something like that for. They do have a little bit more carry than your typical overstable approach putter, but they still have that overstability and torque resistance you'd be used to from a zone. The Pyro and the MD5 have very similar hand feels. The biggest difference actually is the Pyro has this very concave rim where you can see underneath the wing of the disc, it kind of goes inward. It has that concave geometry where if you check out the MD5, it's much flatter and straighter where the wing meets the bottom of the disc. So that really comes down to personal preference between which one you like. As far as stability goes, I would use them on all the same shots, throwing all the same angles. We're gonna throw them both on a couple holes here so you can kind of see that they are, in fact, very similar discs. All right, hole 13, 265-foot par 3. There's OB on the path all to the left, so I wanna hang this out a little bit right so it fades in. It's gonna be tough for me to get to the basket because of how overstable the disc is, but we're gonna try to put on a little bit of flex line, see what we can do. Didn't really get the flex line. Put that out pretty flat. Oh, getting a little roll towards the basket. That actually puts us in a decent spot, maybe a little bit outside of circle. We're also going to throw that prototype MD5 so you can kind of see the comparison if you're used to throwing Discmania. That one really high. You can see just crashes in. Really overstable. So the Pyro actually got up here pretty well. I'm left with about a 25-footer. The MD5 was maybe 30 feet shorter. The MD5 is the number's 5304, so it's marketed as being a little more overstable, and I'd probably agree that it's a tick more overstable than the Pyro. But like I was saying earlier, the stability is so similar, probably wouldn't bag both. Similar discs, similar results. See if I can get my Pyro putt going here. dang. Call that one a par. Tough to miss the birdie chance. Not many birdies out here on the back nine for a Pyro. A lot of longer holes like this one. 340-foot par 3. We're going to try to pipe it on the forehand through this gap. This is a pretty dicey fairway. Probably not going to make it all the way there with the Pyro, but I also said in the last hole, so we'll find out. Oh, way too overstable. That really needed to put on more of a flex, which I'm not great at. Redemption moment. Let's do Discmania PD. Just want to throw a good shot. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Dang. Yeah, that was a great shot. The Pyro just doesn't really have any glide, so it's hard to really pump it on a hole like this. Much better for those shorter approach style shots where you need something really reliable to have that overstability. Oh, I got angled up. Well, the Pyro's not doing so hot on this hole, but the PD, almost pin high. This is the Nordic Phenom, the Nicholas Antila version. Big shout out to him for winning the Open in Austin. That was pretty sick. Guess I gotta throw this guy more often. The dreaded lean out putt with the Pyro. Well, bogey sucks, but you know what rocks? This video's sponsor, Grow and Throw. Grow and Throw is a retailer here in Columbia, Missouri. You can also find them at growandthrow.shop online. They got a ton of MVP Axiom discs, including Pyros. This is where I got this Pyro. A bunch of other discs like Envies and Craves, so go check them out, growandthrow.shop. All right, hole 15, 255-foot par 3, straight ahead, but there's water all in front of the basket. Probably just gonna lay this guy up. Oh, dang. If only I was trying to ring that up. Maybe I would have thrown it a little bit higher. I've really been enjoying doing these MVP Axiom reviews, really liking the Pyro, the Crave, the Paradox, the Pixel that I've tried. If you guys have a favorite MVP or Axiom disc, let me know down in the comments. Maybe I'll give it a review. And if you want to see more reviews of MVP plus a bunch of other brands, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. All right, hole 16, 215-foot water carry pretty much all the way until circle 1. Gonna put this up on some highs or try to crash in. Woo! That was so gosh dang close. I can't believe that didn't go in. I really thought that was the one. Try to do the same exact thing with the MD5. Up on a little bit of a steeper angle. Pretty good though. Bullseye. Let's try this Brian Earhart Z Zone. I think this is the 2020 edition, so it's kind of a throwback. Get down. Yeah, that's edge of circle. That's some nice fade to it. All right, hole 17, 286-foot par 3. It's gonna be a really tough hole for the Pyro. There's kind of two routes you can do. Usually I go on the right side, big hyzer with a distance driver. You can also go over here to the left, carry the water with like a forehand or a really understable driver. With the Pyro, I definitely can't get there. I don't want to lose it. I'm just gonna lay up with the forehand to the right and try to pick up the par. Yeah. That'll put me in a decent spot. That ought to be pretty good. Well, this guy went way further than I expected. Thought I was parked on this guy. Oh, there we go. All right, guys, last hole, hole 18, 375 foot, but it's all uphill, plays well over 400 feet. I've never got there in the long spot, even with a driver. I'm definitely not gonna get there with the Pyro. It's gonna be tough, but even as a respectable score, I feel like, with the Pyro, you know, we missed some birdie chances early, but if I can stay at even, I'll be pretty happy. Just gonna play this one for position. I don't want to be too left because I'll be too pinched. I'll have to do a big hyzer to get to the basket. So I want to play this kind of the outside. Of course, this is really overstable, so we'll see if it comes back left. Probably gonna do a flex shot. Hate doing flex shots uphill, but let's see what I can do here. Not really a flex shot. Just kind of pulled it to the right, but that'll put us in a great spot, actually. Well guys, that's 9 holes with the Pyro. I really like it. It's something I've already been bagging, something I plan to continue to bag. Really like the plastic. The Prism rim makes it pretty stiff. Like, it has a little bit of give, but it's pretty stiff, and the Neutron base plate feels really nice. Always been a big fan of Neutron. I'm not sure if the Pyro is gonna replace my typical overstable approach disc. Like, it flies really similar to my Zone. It's a speed above, and I feel like usually people treat those 5 speeds very differently than like a 4-speed or a 3-speed, like a lot of those overstable approach putters are. It definitely has a little bit more carry than the Zone, but not much. Like, I'm not pumping out a Pyro much longer than I would be a Zone or Harper or whatever. So I still have to do some testing to figure out if this is going to be more of a complement to that overstable approach, or if I'm going to throw this when I would just typically throw those. I would say because those Zone type discs have a little bit less glide, it may be worth bagging both. But anyways, thanks a lot for stopping by, you guys. I really appreciate you guys watching all the way through. Like and subscribe. Go check out Grow and Throw, this video's sponsor. They're awesome. They got tons of discs. And as always, I will see you next time.